My name is Clinton Geyser. I am with Enviro Africa. We are the independent environmental consultants on the project. We conducted the environmental impact assessment. The Hakskeen pan is a very unique ecosystem. It might not look like much at the moment, but it's actually teeming with life. Most of it would be dormant at the moment, but when the floods come in, there's a lot of invertebrates, crustaceans like the fairy shrimp. So we are here to make sure that any activities on the pan are according to the conditions of the environmental authorization. And there's two main areas that we looked at. It's the pan surface itself and then the surrounding vegetated dunes. After every flood, any impacts that might be seen on the pan from the vehicle tracks, those tend to get rehabilitated quite quickly. The pan itself restores itself after the floods. The two main potential impacts on the fairy shrimp on the pan is pollution from sewage and wastewater. So the toilets are all contained. There's a conservancy tank that gets emptied every week. So there's no chance of spillages on the pan. The other potential pollution impact on the pan is from fuel spillages. As you'll see, all the tanks are bunded. So if there is a leak, that is all contained and it doesn't leak into the pan. The most sensitive part of Hakskeen pan was actually the vegetated sand dunes surrounding the pan. Obviously, with them being vegetated, it holds a lot of the fauna and flora around the pan. And whereas the pan can restore itself very quickly after a flood event, any impacts on the sand dunes themselves will take years, if not decades, to rehabilitate. So for that reason, all the vegetated dunes around the technical camp are considered no-go areas. You'll see they've all been demarcated as no-go areas, so that there's no human or vehicle traffic through the dunes, no storage of equipment on the dunes, which could lead to serious erosion. So the pan surface has got a pH of approximately 8 to 9, which is slightly alkaline. The lines that are painted on the pan surface, that gets painted with a chalk-based paint. That also tends to be alkaline, roughly about 7.5, 8 pH. So there's hardly any impact on the pH of the pan with regards to the track markings. So one of the potential impacts of Bloodhound on the pan surface is the compaction of the pan surface. We mitigate that problem by having the vehicles use existing roads as far as possible. There are a number of existing roads that cross the pan. Where Bloodhound and the support vehicles do have to cross the pan, the vehicles try and avoid going over the same tracks. That lessens the compaction of the soil. So by following the conditions of the environmental management plan, Bloodhound and the contractors are ensuring that any potential impact that they have on the pan is kept to an absolute minimum, with the idea of once activities cease on the pan, those impacts will be rehabilitated, and by next year there should be no indication that Bloodhound was even on the pan.